How's it going, everybody? This is Dylan. I am back again. I'd like to apologize for my lack of activity in the past couple months. I've been doing a lot of stuff with schoolwork, applying to colleges, all that fun stuff. So I kind of put YouTube on the back burner. Haven't really been paying much attention to the channel, and I do apologize for that. But I have still been following sports, watching all the sports that are going on right now. Can't wait for next weekend in the Super Bowl. Our old pal Tom Brady going for his 7th. Can't wait to see what happens there, and I might make a video on that. My first non-Boston sports related video, even though it kind of is because of Tom Brady and obviously Gronk and everything like that. But this video is not about football. This is about the Boston Celtics, and right now they are 10-8, which is not great through 18 games of a 72-game season. So you might be thinking, what exactly is wrong right now? What's going on with the Celtics, and why are they playing so poorly? Why is their record kind of poor like that? And so, if you look at this game against the Lakers, a 1-point loss to the defending champions with LeBron James and Anthony Davis, that's not terrible. And if you look at their stat lines, it's like LeBron, he had 37 minutes, 21 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. Like, that's okay. You know, if LeBron James drops 21 on you, fine. You're fine with that. You know, Anthony Davis went off for 27. He's a fantastic player. The 14 rebounds are probably more impactful than the 27 points. Because I don't know how many times he grabbed the offensive boards, and then Schroeder had a good game, or Schroeder, I'm sorry, I always mispronounce that. Harrell had a great game. He did not miss. I mean, he was just putting everything in. Kuzma hit a couple threes, which didn't help us at all. But when you look at the Celtics, you got Jason Tatum dropping 30 points and 9 rebounds. You got Jaylen Brown dropping 28 with 3 assists and 1 board. And it's like Daniel Tice had another strong offensive game. And then you get to Kemba Walker. And obviously, the big thing here is 28 minutes, 4 points on 1 of 12 shooting. That's terrible. I mean, he was terrible. Marcus, unfortunately, got hurt, so you can't really look at his. Because, you know, he was hurt. I think that was maybe the 3rd quarter. But he did not finish the game. So, obviously, you just want him to be okay. I think he's going to be out for 2 to 3 weeks, which sucks to have him out for almost another month. After just losing Peyton Pritchard, Robert Williams had a great game, I think. He was all over the court. He had 7 rebounds and 10 points. And then you look at the bottom of the barrel here with these guys that just are not playing well. Semi Ojeleye. Now, Shemi's been playing well. So I don't really, he didn't get the ball much last night on the offensive end, so I don't really look at that. I'm not like a Shemi defender all the time. I thought he should have been cut this camp, and he came out and he proved me absolutely wrong. So, I mean, that's why I'm saying I'm not a Shemi defender, but I feel like that's kind of misleading. I don't think that he's too bad. Jeff Teague is terrible. He's been absolutely terrible for the Celtics this year. They expected him to be an upgrade over Brad Wanamaker, that veteran presence that kind of comes in and he can knock down shots, but he can get the second unit flowing more easily with his passing. And no, he hasn't done that at all. 2 assists, 15 minutes, 4 points, and I don't know who has the lowest field goal percentage from 2 points, but it's got to be Jeff Teague, because I don't remember the last time he actually hit one of those runners. Even when he goes up for layups, you just feel like he's gonna miss them. Like he just can't make shots. Okay, Nesmith played 8 minutes. I think he got 2 shots and he bricked them both. He has not been good. He shot 52% from 3 in 14 games. It was too small of a sample size to take him at 14th overall, but we took him at 14th overall, and now he can't shoot anymore. So that's not ideal at all. For 2 straight drafts to have a 14th overall pick, and it doesn't look like either of those 2 guys are going to give the Celtics really much of anything in their rookie year. You know, Aaron Nesmith, he had a couple good games off the bench. You know, he dropped 11 points one night, I think 9 points the next night. It was like, whoa. All of a sudden, now he's starting to play a lot better. And he's hitting his shots, and he's knocking down when he has it open, but no, now he's not. He bricked a couple last night, and I get it. He didn't get the ball too much, so I'm not giving up on Aaron Nesmith yet, but I am being a little little hard on him because he's the 14th overall pick, and that's probably more of Danny's fault than anything. That once again he takes a guy 14th overall, and you're not getting much out of him this year. And then Tristan Thompson is another one that I personally don't think he has been as advertised for the Boston Celtics. Defensively, he's all right. You know, obviously he's better than Enes Kanter, which we had last year, but he has not been like this big-bodied presence that everybody said he could be. And you know, 1 point he doesn't really score. You know, you're not shocked if he goes out there and he could get 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 boards, but he doesn't score a point. And last night he had 1 point. You know, he had one of two free throws. So really, when you look at the stat sheet here, like it screams that these two guys, they need help. Okay, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown need help. That's what we're starting to get at here. And Kemba Walker, since coming back, has not been that help. You know, I hate to say it, but man, they need him to knock down shots, and he has not been knocking them down. I mean, he had a couple good games, obviously, but he had the Knicks game where he first came back and he was terrible. And I mean, it seems like so many times we have to just say, oh, he just had an off night. You know, he has this way too much. And for him to be taking the last shot of last night's game, you know, that shouldn't have happened. And there's this picture going around of Tatum with his hands in the air, signaling for a timeout, and no ref gave it to him. That was the last play of the game. And by that time, I don't know if Brad saw that and maybe thought that, you know, they were going to give it to him. Then they didn't. And by that time, he just kind of had to let him play. I'm not sure. But that was really disappointing last night, you know, to see Kemba Walker go 1 for 12 from the field and take the last shot and brick at mid-range. You know, and those are usually the ones he hits are the last shots. He's a clutch guy. I'm not going to, you know, deny that. But 10-8 right now is not really great. And if you look at who they're playing, you know, they're on this really tough streak right now because they're obviously they lost to the Spurs in a game that they shouldn't have lost that game. And they're beating like the easy teams, you know, they're beating the Bulls, they're beating the Cavs, you know, but then they dropped both of the Sixers games. They dropped that Knicks game, which was just terrible. I mean, that's just a bad game. Um, and then this is when things were good, you know, before Jason Tatum got COVID, is that, you know, you got against the Magic, the Wizards, you know, we were looking really nice to start the year. We were 8-3, I believe. And now it's been a struggle. So one thing that people are talking about now is Pelicans being focused on JJ Redick trade with the Celtics and other Atlantic Division rivals. So this, you know, JJ Redick, a guard known for his three-point shooting, and a veteran player. You know, people are saying maybe he could be a Teague replacement, but I don't really know if I like this because when I look at this, this is the kicker right here, this paragraph. Redick is averaging 7.9 points, 1.8 rebounds, and 1.8 assists on 33.6% shooting from the field and 29.8% shooting from the three-point line. That is terrible. I mean, that is absolutely awful. I mean, I don't even know if Teague's worse. I'm sorry, but that might be worse than Jeff Teague. And he's a career 41.4% shooter from the three-point line. I don't understand it. I really don't get what's wrong with him this year. Maybe a change of scenery will help him. I mean, maybe it could be a reason that Redick hasn't been able to find a groove in a crowded New Orleans backcourt that features young talent that the Pelicans obviously would prefer to develop, including Kira Lewis and Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Additionally, the Pelicans as a team are struggling overall despite their talent, mustering only a 7-11 record so far. So, is JJ Redick the answer? I don't know. I mean, I don't know what his contract is exactly. If it does say, yeah, Redick's $13 million salary would fit into the TPE, although the Celtics would have to waive a player for that to happen. Obviously, that could probably be Jeff Teague. And, I don't know. I don't really know if he can defend at all. There's also plenty of reason to not spend TB money on a 36-year-old shooter who hasn't been able to shoot this year on an expiring contract. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. You can really get him, you can buy low on him because his value is going to be nothing. But do you want to take that risk? Do you want to say, hey, we're going to bring in this three-point specialist who has shot under 30% from three this year. I don't know. I don't really know if you want to take that risk. The Celtics surprisingly are not a terrible three-point shooting team. They got a lot of guys who can hit threes off the bench. It's just they don't usually all come together at the same time, and that's the problem. But I don't know. Maybe you just take a flyer on it. I just think it's too big of a price tag, because then you're looking at $15 million more with the TPE, and that eliminates guys like let's just say for argument's sake Julius Randle, who's on I believe 18 million, or Aaron Gordon is on 18 million dollars I think, and so it's like that eliminating those guys would be even worse than sticking with Jeff Teague, I think. So I don't know what they need to do, but they got to make a move, and I think they got to make it pretty fast. I don't think they can wait around this year. Danny's never really too active at the trade deadline. At least I shouldn't say never, but he hasn't been in the recent years. But man, he's got to be, because they need help right now. And with Marcus Smart being out, that's even more reason to say, hey, we got to get something right now. And they got to get some more off the bench, and Shemi's been good, Robert Williams has been good, but Grant Williams has had a terrible year, and he's looking like he might be dead weight. He might be on his way out. Jeff Teague should be on his way out. He's been awful. Daniel Tice has been really solid offensively, and I think he's a guy I'd like to keep around. Out of the three centers that we have right now, if you had to say which one I would get rid of the fastest, I'd say Tristan Thompson. And I'm not kidding. I don't want to get rid of Time Lord. I don't want to get rid of Daniel Tice. They have too much upside. Right now, Tristan Thompson is not doing it. He's not that great defensively and rebounding wise to warrant playing 15 minutes and never scoring. That's the reason. It's like you need to get a guy who's like really, really solid on both ends. And the Celtics, unfortunately, for the past 2 years have had Enes Kanter, who's really, really solid offensively, but cannot guard anybody. And then Tristan Thompson, who's really, really solid defensively, but he can't score. And that's unfortunate. They haven't been able to put it together with the big men. And now guard depth is an issue as well. Without Marcus Smart and Peyton Pritchard for a couple games, at least you're going to have Jeff Teague. You're going to have Carson Edwards out there, who hey, he hasn't been playing terribly as of late, so we'll see if that continues. But anyways, they got to make some moves. I don't know if JJ Redick is it. If anybody did have any suggestions as to what they think the Celtics should do with the TPE, or any of the smaller TPEs that they have, you can put that down. But anyways, we'll see what happens. I'm hoping that Trader Danny comes through for us here, because I don't think we can be resting on our laurels. We're going to get passed by a few teams in the East. We're going to be passed by the Nets, the Sixers, the Pacers are right there, and you never know about teams like the Heat and the Raptors and stuff like that. I'm not ready to say much about them yet, but it's going to be tough. The East is not easy this year, so we got to just be prepared for that, and the Celtics need to make some win now moves, because let me just tell you, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are the guys, man. They are definitely the guys. If there's anything good you can take away from this game, is that these guys went toe-to-toe with, these guys. And if you look at their points, both of them scored more points than either of these guys. So that's amazing. And I get they played more minutes and stuff like that. I understand that, but and obviously LeBron James is in his 18th season, so it's pretty incredible that he's still able to put up stat lines like this in 37 minutes in your 18th season. That's ridiculous. So I'm not trying to, put these guys on the level of LeBron James just yet, but I am saying that, they're off to just an incredible start. And it seems like, at first it seemed like, oh, this is unsustainable to be shooting this well. At least for Jaylen Brown, he is so efficient. I don't know his exact stat line, but he is so efficient. I don't know if it'll take you to it. No, it just gives you a Google search of him. That's not what I was looking for. But I mean, he missed a couple early shots, and I remember getting mad at him. And then I look up, he's like 8 for 11 midway through the game. I'm like, okay, so that's how he does it. He just does not miss shots. He's incredible. Celtics have two superstars right now, absolutely. These two are superstars, and I don't think it's fair to say superstars in the making, because these are superstar numbers. This is, you know, a superstar stat line right there against the Los Angeles Lakers. And it's not just tonight. It's every other night where they both show up every night and they drop points like this every night. I don't know what exactly Jalen's averaging right now, but it's something ridiculous. They're both averaging over 25 points a game. And whether or not that falls down over the course of the year, it might. I don't know. But they're incredible players and they need help. So the Celtics, now it's up to Danny Ainge to get him help. I know Kemba Walker's not always going to drop stinkers like this. I know that. I know he's going to be a good player. I know he is still a good player. And as much as I get upset at him and I wish he wouldn't take that last shot and I like toy with the idea of trading him, I don't want to trade him because he's a great player. And I think when the Celtics are at full strength, they're a threat to a lot of teams. I just think they need one or two more pieces to really get over the hump. I said that in the offseason, and I'm saying that now. They need one or two more pieces, and I don't know where exactly they will come. I don't know who exactly it will be, but they need one or two more pieces off the bench to really put them over the top and to make them a threat to anybody in the NBA. So, um, yeah, that about does it for today. I think that'll be it. We'll have to see. They're back in action, I believe, on Tuesday against the Golden State Warriors. So we'll see how that game goes. Hopefully they can get back on track, get back in the win column, and try to turn this thing around. So anyways, hope you all enjoyed, and stick around. I will see you next time.